Chapter 1676. What is Fate? Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios, it was a clear sky with no clouds anywhere. Maple Leaf City was bustling with people moving here, and their 6 years had passed since the city lord's son, Hong Ting, was born. In these 6 years, Maple Leaf City enjoyed a peaceful time with no calamities. Its size continued to expand unceasingly. Already surpassing the original size by over 10 times, it had become the #1 human city in the surrounding plains. Chirp, chirp. A group of spiritual sparrows flew over from somewhere. Their whole bodies shined with golden light and were flying like they were dancing. They displayed extraordinary liveliness until they arrived at the top of the city lord's manor, when suddenly, they imploded one after the other, bursting into specks of golden lights that sprinkled down. Inside the city lord's manor, Hong Ting was currently brandishing a short decorative sword. He was moving some ornamental mounds back and forth while skillfully swinging his sword. In an instant, Hong Ting's figure disappeared. Sword lights formed into spheres which shined brightly everywhere. Great. Amazing. Young master truly has unrivaled talents. He has completely perfected this sword technique after just learning it for 3 months. Such a density of sword lights is simply unbelievable. The surrounding guards praised with sincerity from the depths of their hearts. City Lord Hongzhu stroked his beard and nodded with a smile. He was very proud of his son. As for the feeling of surprise, he had lost it a long time ago. Over these years, Hong Ting's aptitude and performance had changed his view and understanding multiple times. He now knew how shallow his comprehension of the word genius was. Because of the endless surprises throughout these years, Hongzhu had already become numb to them long ago. Now, everything involving his son was natural and a matter of fact. Clang. Right at this time, a crisp sound echoed. Silver sword lights suddenly disappeared, and Hong Ting's figure appeared once again. His short decorative sword had slashed apart a boulder. Cheers and praises immediately resounded. Father, I feel like this sword technique has not reached its limit. There is room for improvement. Hong Ting walked out from the group of ornamental mounds and said with a smile. Hongzhu laughed heartily. This sword technique belongs to the secret manual of a famous sword cultivator, Zhao Sensi. I used a lot of treasures to exchange for it. You have only practiced for 3 months and already feel that it is not good enough. Hong Ting blinked with acute slyness in his eyes. Father, I only said that out of momentary inspiration. To tell the truth, this sword technique is only so. I have already learned all of its essence after practicing for 3 months. Hongzhu coughed, feeling a bit of headache again. His son's talent was too great. He was fast at learning anything. He even went as far as to comprehend the deepest essence of those moves. This was good, but also bad as well. Hongzhu's accumulations were already used up several years ago by Hong Ting. He went through all kinds of avenues to search for secret manuals to teach Hong Ting, but it still could not match Hong Ting's ability to absorb knowledge like a black hole. If this continued for a long time, what could he do? Right at this time, a group of spiritual sparrows flew over their heads and suddenly imploded into golden light specks. The light specks fell and got absorbed into everyone's head, but most of the light specks were absorbed by Hong Ting alone. Instantly, everyone had joyous expressions. They had received inheritances and all sorts of peculiar secret manuals. This is the gift of yet another immortal. I wonder which immortal this is. We should thank young master. We are all enjoying his fortune. The guards looked at Hong Ting passionately. Even Hongzhu's gaze carried a trace of complex feelings. Hong Ting had closed his eyes, immersed completely in the newly obtained sea of knowledge. Hongzhu and the rest were already not surprised at this scene. Even the commoners outside the city lord's manor were only slightly surprised before returning to their business. Unusual phenomena and immortal miracles were fascinating, but when they happened too many times, they would start feeling bland and ordinary. The immortal miracles appearing around Hong Ting could not be said to be a lot. It was at a mind-numbing level that was simply overflowing with such incidents. Since he was born and taken as a disciple by Duke Long, immortal phenomena would frequently occur around him. Duke Long was the leader of Heavenly Court, not mentioning the rank 8 Gu immortals in Heavenly Court. Just the 10 great ancient sects under Heavenly Court were colossal forces with extremely robust foundations. Duke Long had taken in this disciple with great publicity. He did not conceal anything. Everyone understood his intentions. So whether it was Central Continent's righteous path, demonic path, or lone immortals, they all paid extreme attention to Hong Ting's growth. Hong Ting was the blessed child of the world, a future immortal venerable who would be cultivated by heavenly court. This was not a secret. So, every so often, Gu immortals or descendants of Gu immortals would secretly help Hong Ting to build a good affinity and relationship with him in advance. As a result, the Golden Sparrow inheritance gift was not strange. There were also spiritual cranes imparting scrolls, auspicious clouds sending fruits, sacred wind marrow cleansing, and all sorts of unusual immortal-level phenomena that appeared endlessly. After a long while, Hong Ting completely absorbed the knowledge in his brain, but his brows furrowed into a frown. There are 18 types of weapon training methods. Each one is exquisite and unique, but there is still no mention of any advanced aperture awakening method. Father, when can I awaken my aperture and control Gu worms? No matter how excellent these fighting techniques are, they are only mortal techniques. Controlling Gu worms is the only true way. Son, don't be in a hurry. You have once again forgotten what your master instructed in his letter. Hong Zhu said with a pleasant smile. Hong Ting waved his hand impatiently. Father, I know. Master said that although I can awaken my aperture in advance, I must do it only when I am 12. Before the timing and opportunity is right, I cannot do it in advance. I am really curious. Master has such vast powers. Why can't he awaken my aperture now? Hong Zhu's expression became slightly grave. Son, your master is an immortal. You cannot understand what he is thinking, but you have to obey. You need to understand that he absolutely won't harm you. He cherishes you just like how father and mother treasure you. Yes, father. I was wrong. Please don't get angry. Hong Ting quickly cupped his fists. He was very filial to his parents. Time passed. Years passed in an instant. Duke Long appeared once again and formally took Hong Ting as his disciple. He took Hong Ting to roam all over the world while personally guiding him. When Hong Ting was 12, Duke Long awakened his aperture. Hong Ting officially stepped on the path of Gu cultivation, and because of his peerless talent and robust foundation, his cultivation progress was shockingly fast. Not only in his cultivation, his experiences also richened constantly on this journey. He met many people, mortals and immortals, kind people and evil people. His knowledge of human life and heaven and earth was constantly deepening. He had a strong sense of justice and loathed evil. He looked handsome and kind, but was crafty and resourceful as well. Master, I have found that evil Shui-Tu-Dao who slaughtered an entire village. He is staying at a nearby mountain. On this day, Hong Ting returned to the cave from hunting and spoke to Duke Long with excitement. Duke Long nodded with a smile. Take a seat first. The soup is almost ready. This soup is made from the bones of an ancient desolate beast. It will be very helpful to your growth. Hong Ting threw down the prey he hunted, saying with clenched teeth, Master, I have been wanting to take action on Shui-Tu-Dao for over a year and get rid of this evil. But you said I only had rank 3 cultivation while he had rank 5. I was not his match, so you didn't allow me to go. Half a year ago, I already had rank 4 cultivation and 8 killer moves. I had an extremely high chance of taking Shui-Tu-Dao's life, but you said that it was not 100%, so you didn't let me make a move. 3 months ago, I already reached rank 5 and could easily deal with Shui-Tu-Dao in 2 to 3 moves, but you said it was not time to take his life. Master, if we let such an evil person run amok, who knows how many more innocent lives would be lost. Let me strike now. Duke Long put down the ladle and let the bone soup simmer as he said with a sigh. Disciple, the opportunity has not arrived. I don't care about any opportunity. I only know that if I don't make a move now, I would lose a good opportunity. Hong Ting was extremely firm. Duke Long shook his head. Now is not the time for Shui-Tu-Dao to die. If you forcibly kill him, not only will it be futile and fruitless, you will even create certain aftermath which will lead to tragedy. I don't believe it. I only need one move to take his life. Hong Ting raised one finger, staring right into Duke Long's eyes with a burning gaze. Duke Long went silent for a while. Then go, young man. Give it a try. Thank you, Master. Hong Ting was exulted. I just hope that you will not be disappointed when the time comes. Why will I be disappointed? Master, please wait a moment. Disciple will return with Shui-Tu-Dao's head within 15 minutes. Hong Ting turned around and left. But 15 minutes passed, 30 minutes went by, and soon it reached 45 minutes. Hong Ting still did not appear. Duke Long saw everything. He knew the timing was right as he left the cave and crossed a forest, arriving beside Hong Ting. Hong Ting was kneeling on the ground, his face filled with shock, anger, and deep regret. He was dazedly looking at the foot of the mountain. A small village had once been there where the villagers lived happily. His eyes were red and filled with traces of blood. He saw Duke Long and raised his head. Tear stains were still clear on his face. Master, I did not imagine there to be a Gu immortal inheritance here. That Shui-Tu-Dao secretly came here to obtain this inheritance. After I destroyed his plan, he used the inheritance's power to stop me, and although I fought with all my strength, I did not think the battle would cause the mountain to crumble. Unexpectedly, the small village was completely buried. Master, it was me. I caused the death of these villagers. Hong Ting sobbed. Duke Long did not console him. He was silent for a while before suddenly saying, Disciple, do you want revenge? Do you want to get rid of Shui-Tu-Dao? The opportunity has arrived. Really? Where is he? Hong Ting's body shook, asking immediately, at that mountain. Duke Long pointed. Hong Ting immediately hurried off and easily killed Shui-Tu-Dao. I was so close. I already obtained the true inheritance and only had to absorb the gains. The moment I narrowly escaped death, you came after me. If I had some time, I would not be afraid. I could have become a Gu immortal. These were Shui-Tu-Dao's last words before he died. Hong Ting was silently standing before Shui-Tu-Dao's corpse. Duke Long appeared behind Hong Ting once again, remaining silent. After a good while, Hong Ting stopped looking at Shui-Tu-Dao's corpse in a daze as he asked with an extremely hoarse voice, Master, had I listened to your arrangements, I could have easily killed him and those villagers would not have been implicated. Is that right? Duke Long did not reply, only softly patting Hong Ting's shoulder. Hong Ting's body shook as he fell into a deep silence before asking, Master, I want to ask you, what is fate? Chapter 1677. I regret it. Translator, Atlas Studios Editor, Atlas Studios, Fate. Duke Long sighed with a deep and complex expression. He walked towards a rock and patted beside him, indicating Hong Ting to have a seat. Hong Ting followed Duke Long and sat cross-legged. Look. Duke Long pointed at the rock he was sitting on. Hong Ting quickly looked. He saw a small group of ants moving beside the rock. They were moving in an orderly fashion, returning to their nest with food. This is fate. Duke Long continued. What? Look again. Duke Long pointed at the sky. Hong Ting gazed at the sky. Clouds of all kinds of shapes were moving in the sky. This also is fate. Duke Long said. Hong Ting's mind jolted as if he had comprehended something. Master, you mean to say? He did not continue. He had gained some comprehension but was unable to express them in words at this time. Ants transporting food, bees collecting honey, wind blowing, clouds floating, everything in this world have their own paths to walk on. To us, they might look like they don't follow any rules, but they are actually moving according to the rules of the great Tao. 1 inch look at the moon and sun. Every day, the sun rises and the moon falls. The moon rises and the sun falls. Look at a human's life and death. No matter who they are, be they an immortal venerable or a demon venerable, they will die in the end. Everything is fate. Every person, every living being, even every rock, every drop of water, every lump of fire, since they exist in this world, they will have value and meaning in their existence. Good and evil is also the same. Without good, how would there be evil? Without evil, why talk about good? You were in a hurry to kill Shui-Tu-Dao and did not see his value. Since heaven and earth let him exist, there is definitely a reason for his life. This is fate. Fate already has arrangements for everything in the world. It is just that we can only slightly feel this kind of arrangement and cannot see it clearly. Not being able to see clearly is normal. The laws of heaven and earth, the great Tao of the universe. Even if an immortal uses all their life, they would not be able to understand them thoroughly. We are too weak, too small, while heaven and earth is too vast. We should revere heaven and earth, follow the arrangements of the heavenly fate, and bring fortune to the world. 1 inch your parents' marriage was fate's arrangement. Their greatest value was to bring you into this world. You will become an immortal venerable in the future. This is also fate's arrangement. You need to accept it, climb to the peak step by step, lead heavenly court, and contribute your life to the righteous path. And my greatest value in life is to teach and guide you towards the proper path. I am your Tao guardian. 1 inch believe in fate, acknowledge fate. All its arrangements have their own reasons. If we forcibly interfere, it will lead to tragedy and regret. Just like how you tried to take Shui-2-Dao's life early. But were you able to kill him? Duke Long shook his head. No. Although your strength surpassed his, you encountered all kinds of unexpected situations. In the end, not only did you fail to kill him, you even implicated innocent lives. Think back on it. If you had listened to fate's arrangements and attacked Shui-2-Dao at his weakest moments, would you still have encountered those accidents? I will tell you. The value of Shui-2-Dao's existence was to activate this Gu immortal inheritance, to open the way and hand this inheritance to you. Hong Ting was dazed. He was motionless like a statue. 2 clear rows of tears fell from his eyes as he choked. Master, I was wrong. It is good to know your mistakes and change them. Actually, your wrong choice was also fate's arrangement. Duke Long said. Master, what do you mean? We are all under fate's arrangements. You thought you could defy fate, but your thought was also fate's arrangement. You don't need to feel guilty. You should comprehend fate's intention. You think your wrong choice was of no value? Wrong. 1 inch, every mistake has an inestimable value to a youth's growth. If you can absorb the lesson from this mistake, acknowledge fate's existence, and accept it, then this mistake would have shown its value. That village's destruction also has its value. Duke Long then took a deep look at Hong Ting. My disciple, you are a talented and intelligent child, a good child, but I worry because you emphasize on feelings too much. You already have rank 5 cultivation now. Among the paths to ascend to an immortal, you will probably choose wisdom path, right? Master, your vision is unparalleled. I indeed have such thoughts. I feel like wisdom path is extremely suitable for me. Hong Ting said truthfully. Duke Long shook his head. Wisdom path focuses on thought, will, and emotion. You emphasize on feelings too much, so studying emotions has more demerits than benefits to you. Listen to Master, choose time path. When you can view the past and present, observe the rise and decline of history, all sorts of honor and disgrace, you will understand that all feelings and romance will be cleansed by time. I have received revelation from Fate Gu. Time path suits you the most. Hong Ting opened his mouth slightly, wanting to say something, but he nodded in the end. Disciples shall abide by Master's teachings and choose time path. Duke Long nodded in satisfaction. That's good. Master is your Tao guardian. Pointing you towards the correct path is the meaning behind my existence. Time slowly moved forward. Hong Ting chose time path, and under Duke Long's protection, successfully passed his immortal ascension tribulation, becoming a time path Gu immortal. Lord Immortal Hong Ting, that demon has proclaimed he is going to slaughter the whole city unless I give my daughter to him as a concubine. He is a great Gu immortal, we are only mortals. We truly are unable to do anything, considering the friendship between me and your father. I implore you to eliminate this demon. An old city lord paid a visit, kneeling to the ground as he made his request to Hong Ting. Hong Ting recognized him. This city lord's city was close to Maple Leaf City. They had frequent dealings with each other. This city lord and his father indeed had a close friendship. He had even seen this city lord's daughter and had played with her when they were young. Old senior, please get up. I will definitely help. It is just that. Hong Ting paused for a moment. The opportunity has not arrived. The old city lord was exulted. Since Lord Immortal has replied, this old man shall be rest assured. I believe Lord Immortal will not go back on his words. Hong Ting waited till it was the correct time to kill this demonic Gu immortal. He attacked resolutely and killed this demon easily. However, the old city lord was kneeling on the ground, gazing at the city filled with ruins and corpses as he cried in sadness. This accursed demon is finally dead. My good daughter, The inhabitants of my city, you can rest in peace now. Your hatred has been avenged. Disciple pays respect to master. I wonder what matter master has called me for. Hong Ting went up to Duke Long. Disciple, master has sensed fate. Floating Flower River is about to flood. The river channel has diverged. I want you to go save people. Remember, don't make a move early. You can only do so after 3 days and 3 nights. Duke Long instructed carefully. Yes, master. Hong Ting came to the floating Flower River bank and looked at the flooding river water. Countless living beings were forced to be homeless, while many drowned corpses were floating on the surface. He forcibly restrained his emotions and waited for 3 days and 3 nights. But at that time, he found that he did not even need to make a move. The river water retreated by itself, swamps appearing in many areas. That a wild immortal goo's aura emerged and was actually not far away from Hong Ting. Hong Ting easily subdued this wild immortal goo. Great goo. It is actually a rank 7-time path goo, which is perfect for me. One howl. The wild immortal goo's aura attracted 2 ancient desolate beasts. Hong Ting's expression turned solemn as he concealed himself. He waited for these 2 ancient desolate beasts to kill each other. After one died and another was injured, he made his move, getting these 2 ancient desolate beast corpses easily. Wonderful, wonderful. Gazing at the traces of the battlefield, Hong Ting suddenly came to a realization. So it turns out this was fate's arrangement. With the battle of the 2 ancient desolate beasts, Floating Flower River has expanded by several times its width, while its river channel has been dyed by the ancient desolate beast's blood, becoming much thicker. From now on, Floating Flower River will probably not flood again. There are also these plots of land beside Floating Flower River, which will become extremely fertile as they are soaked in the essence, blood, and corpses of countless beings. In the future, the mortals who live here will truly be fortunate. 1. Bull-headed demon brute. Let go of my parents now, otherwise, I will make you suffer a fate worse than death. Hong Ting furiously glared at the bull-headed demonic immortal. The bull-headed demonic immortal held Hong Ting's parents in each of his hands, laughing loudly. Kid, you are very arrogant. You want to get rid of me? When I became a goo immortal, you were still suckling milk as a baby. Are you scared now? Hong Ting had to restrain himself and could only shout in anger. The bull-headed demon brute quickly shouted, Don't come over. Don't be impulsive. Don't you want your parents' lives? If you come over, I will directly crush your parents' heads. What do you want? Hong Ting shouted. Bull-headed demon brute gave a malevolent smile. Now we are talking. As long as you hand over my lifespan goo, I will return your parents to you. If not, I only have a few days to live anyway. I will just die with your parents. Hong Ting was immediately dazed. According to fate's arrangements, those 2 wild lifespan goo should indeed go to bull-headed demon brute. But Hong Ting saw his parents getting old and reaching their life's limit. So he seized those 2 lifespan goo without telling Duke Long. Who could have thought that bull-headed demon brute would come and bring disaster to his parents? In an instant, Hong Ting's face became deathly pale and his forehead was filled with cold sweat. I have already used those 2 lifespan goo. I know, you used them on your parents. Bull Demon was not surprised. But, you are Duke Long's disciple, a future immortal venerable who will lead Heavenly Court. I don't believe Heavenly Court's treasury does not have any lifespan goo. Bring 300 years, no, 3,000 years lifespan goo, and I will release your parents. This, Hong Ting was now caught in a dilemma. In the end, through twists and turns, he finally forced bull-headed demon brute to retreat. But his parents were irrecoverably injured. Even immortal methods could not heal them. Father, mother, I harmed you. If I had not taken lifespan goo for you, you would still have several years left. Hong Ting knelt down and cried. Hong Zhu, however, smiled. Son, life and death is up to fate. Fortune is up to heaven. Humans have to die sooner or later. This world has long life, but is there anyone who can live forever? No. We are fated to die. You don't need to feel sad for us. On the contrary, you should be happy for us. The 2 of us could have a son like you, a future immortal venerable. How great of an honor is this? We will definitely be noted down in history because of you. Madame Hong also said, My son, listen to your father. Be a good person. You must be righteous. The old couple grasped each other's hands and died at the same time. Father, mother! Hong Ting howled towards the sky. Bright light accumulated in Hong Ting's eyes. Through the passing of time, experience and maturity made him full of manly charisma. The setting sun illuminated the lush green hill. Under the setting sun, he saw Lu Shu Xian for the first time. Two pairs of eyes met each other. Both felt their hearts pulsing. An indescribable atmosphere rapidly spread. Love at first sight. Lu Shu Xian revealed a strange expression, asking softly, "Who are you?" Hong Ting, however, felt no surprise. He replied with a smile, "I am your fated husband. My name is Hong Ting." Lu Shu Xian was astonished. "You are the future immortal venerable? Don't be surprised. Our encounter here was determined by fate." Love gave Hong Ting a feeling of satisfaction and bliss that he had never experienced before. He and Lu Shu Xian always kept each other's company and had a lot in common. It was like they were born for each other, like a key to a lock. They were a natural couple. They roamed the world together. They conversed and dined under the moon. They had great chemistry. An eye signal to the other could express their inner heart and even convey all their intention to the other's mind. They were a true immortal couple, living together for hundreds of years. They supported each other in the path of cultivation. There was not even one fight or a moment where they were vexed at each other. Lu Shu Xian accompanied Hong Ting all the way to rank 8 peak, and finally to rank 9 venerable realm. The tribulation was unimaginable, but Hong Ting still succeeded in the end. Duke Long was heavily injured due to this. Several heavenly court Gu immortals perished, while Hong Ting held Lu Shu Xian's gradually freezing body with tears all over his face. He tightly held Lu Shu Xian, repeatedly saying, "Don't leave me. Don't leave me. I beg you, please live. It's no use. I have been struck by the tribulation. Having a trace of my soul left to take a final look at you is already an enormous fortune. How could I possibly ask for more?" Lu Shu Xian smiled. "I am useless. I am useless. I underwent tribulation but implicated you." Hong Ting's head was lowered with tears rolling down his eyes. "No, Hong Ting. That tribulation could only have been blocked by my special physique. Even if you all sacrificed your lives, you would only have failed. I was born with one of the 10 extreme physiques and encountered you. It was all fate's arrangement. In your fatal moment, I suddenly understood the greatest meaning of my life. It was to protect you, to block the tribulation for you, and help you ascend to the position of an immortal venerable. Now, I have accomplished it. No, Xianair, I would rather not be an immortal venerable. I only want you to live. I only want you to live." Hong Ting roared helplessly. His body was shaking and his tears were falling. Everything and everyone in this world has its own respective fate. It is fixed. Hong Ting, you cannot have such thoughts. You need to live on properly. Your fate is to become an immortal venerable, lead heavenly court, and spread the glory of the righteous path throughout the 5 regions. Do you know? I had always been wanting to see that scene, standing by your side and accompanying you as you bring fortune to the world with invincible might. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see it. Lu Shu Xian's life force gradually fell until she died. Hong Ting's head was lowered and his back was bent deeply like an old man. A heavy shadow shrouded his face. This moment, he seemed to have lost all signs of life. He was motionless like a statue in his immortal aperture. The remaining heaven and earth chi gathered and merged, refining a rank 8 immortal Gu according to his current mental state. This Gu had the form of a centipede. Its whole body was pale white like paper. Unlike centipedes, its legs were replaced by 100 feelers. Every feeler was translucent, gently floating in the air, agitating hearts and continuously raising the deepest regretful feelings. Rank 8 regret Gu. Cough, cough, cough. Duke Long coughed out several mouthfuls of blood. He forcibly stood up and walked to Hong Ting's side. Lu Shu Xian's death was not without meaning. It was worthy and valuable. There is no need for sadness, my dear disciple. This was all fate's arrangement. Now, you are already an immortal venerable. Rank 9 venerables are extremely rare even in the long history of humanity. You still have a long life ahead. Your mission has just started. I will abdicate my position. Heavenly Court, as well as the 5 regions and 2 heavens need you. Hong Ting, Hong Ting. Duke Long softly called. One Hong Ting slowly raised his head. He did not look at Duke Long. His gaze was still on Lu Shuxian's icy corpse that he replied lightly. I regret it. 1. Chapter 1678. Immortal Venerable Regrets. But I do not. Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios, what did you say? Duke Long did not hear clearly. I said, I regret it. Hong Ting said again. Duke Long's brows immediately furrowed, using a stern gaze to look at his proudest disciple. Regret? Oh, Hong Ting, don't speak of such nonsense again. You are clear of it. How many people dedicated and sacrificed themselves to cultivate and support you until you reached your current cultivation level? If you say such things, would you be doing justice to those people who have helped you throughout your life? Would you be doing justice to your parents? Justice to your late wife Lu Shuxian? Justice to the immortals who helped you pass the tribulation and sacrificed themselves? Duke Long berated Hong Ting sternly. All right, Lord Duke Long. Lu Shuxian's death is a great tragedy. We can understand Red Lotus Immortal Venerable's feelings. He is only in a temporarily agitated state. The other Heavenly Court Gu Immortals attempted to mediate. Red Lotus Immortal Venerable he. Hong Ting laughed with disdain. He gazed at Duke Long with his bloodshot eyes. If such sacrifices are required, and there will be even more sacrifices in the future for this immortal venerable position, then I would rather not have it. Enough! Duke Long shouted in rage. I will not allow you to speak any more nonsense, Hong Ting. You think your immortal venerable position can be gained or abandoned at your will. This is all fate's arrangement. This is the mission of your life. You must accept it no matter what. Hong Ting laughed loudly. His hair was messy. He was in a miserable state. He lowered his head and looked at Duke Long. A grand immortal venerable, invincible in the world, actually cannot do as he pleases. He cannot even reject this immortal venerable position. Duke Long snorted coldly. Tell me, Hong Ting, who can do as they please in this world? Your thoughts are too childish. You think becoming an immortal venerable and leading the righteous path would not need sacrifices? What is there in this world that has no price to pay for? How shallow do you think the words righteous path are? Wrong. Maintaining Heavenly Court's righteous path requires you to pay a price. It requires sacrifices. If you don't even have this sacrificial mentality, then I will tell you, you don't have the qualifications to enter Heavenly Court. Hong Ting's body shook. Lord Duke Long, Lord Immortal Venerable, please calm yourselves. We should recuperate and heal our injuries now instead of quarreling. The other Gu Immortals repeatedly tried persuading. Hong Ting slowly lowered his head, but his fists were slowly clenched tight as he said with an incomparably firm tone, I want to revive them. Duke Long's brows raised, his face cold as ice. Who do you want to revive? Every person who sacrificed themselves for me. My parents, Lu Shuxian, and many others. Presumptuous. Duke Long suddenly shouted while pointing at Hong Ting. How could you have such a heretical thought? You know it clearly. I have also told you several times. Life and death is determined by fate. Life and death is the rule of the great Tao. Any living being's life and death is arranged by fate. You want to revive the dead? Are you trying to send the entire world into chaos? Have you not learned yet? The more you think like that, the more cruel tragedies will happen around you. Even if there are crueler tragedies, I will accept them. Master, disciple always had a question. Why? Why must we accept fate's arrangements? If there was no fate, would the world truly fall into chaos? Is it not possible that the world will become a better place? Hong Ting asked in an anxious tone. Duke Long's body shook with anger. Even the persuading Heavenly Court Gu Immortals slowly took a step back, looking at Hong Ting as if he was someone unfamiliar. Lord Immortal Venerable, your thought is too dangerous. Right. Without fate, our human race would not be prosperous. Fate Gu is Heavenly Court's supreme treasure. Lord Immortal Venerable actually wants to destroy it? This. All of you. Hong Ting looked at the surrounding Gu Immortals. He felt an indescribably deep loneliness at this moment. Time flowed. Who knows how long had passed, the lonely figure appeared in the river of time. His hair was messy. His face was filled with the vicissitudes of life, like a man who had roamed the world but had no place to call home. His face still had the former Hong Ting's shadow, but his expression had already changed completely. Red Lotus Demon Venerable looked at the endlessly flowing river of time as he sighed. It is time to leave behind my inheritance. He slowly descended. His feet stopped right before he touched the river of time. This first stone lotus island will also be the most important stone lotus island. I will use regret goo as its core and leave this behind for the otherworldly demon, for the person who has the greatest hope of destroying fate. One thereupon, a stone lotus island gradually appeared in this world. Red Lotus Demon Venerable left behind rank 8 regret goo here, as well as a large amount of time path immortal materials, immortal killer moves, a portion of his true meaning that contained his true memories of a certain period of time, as well as an immortal killer move with an unparalleled effect. After finishing the arrangement, Red Lotus Demon Venerable flew away slowly with his exhausted body. Time flew by, who knows how long had passed. An outsider charged into this stone lotus island. He was dressed in rough clothing. He had a thin-looking body and a bald head. He had an ordinary appearance. He was barefooted. His legs were even stained with some mud, like a farmer who had returned from a day of work in the fields. However, his face looked very young. His eyes were glistening brightly, filled with compassion and benevolence. Red Lotus true meaning appeared, condensing into an illusory image of Red Lotus Demon Venerable, who smiled towards the barefooted young-looking man. Welcome, my honorary guest. I am Paradise Earth. I finally found this place after immense effort. This person was Paradise Earth, who had already become an immortal venerable. Red Lotus true meaning directly asked, Immortal Venerable, what is the purpose for your visit? Paradise Earth smiled. Senior Red Lotus, why ask when you already know? Red Lotus true meaning also smiled. You are right. Fate has only been damaged, not completely destroyed, so everything is still traceable and observable from the river of time. Pausing for a moment, Red Lotus true meaning continued. I can lend you regret goo. As for your intention to steal my inheritor, that will depend on your ability. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable looked solemn. Although he is an otherworldly demon, he is not an emotionless person. Put down the blade to reach redemption. It is never too late to turn back. Who does not want to seek redemption? I am willing to give it a try. 3 Red Lotus true meaning laughed. All right. My main body still had some worries when constructing this island. After all, I am not entirely confident in defending against Heavenly Court. However, since you are taking action, then there is no worry. This is regret goo. Catch it properly. Regret goo flew over slowly. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable stretched his hands, which were covered in radiance, and carefully received it. It is indeed worthy of being regret goo. It constantly draws out boundless regretful feelings. Only a person with not even a little bit of regret is immune to this greatest flaw. Otherwise, any goo immortal who approaches it will feel incomparable pain and regret. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable smiled bitterly. If not for my rank 9 cultivation level, I might not be able to suppress it. 2. Looks like you also have regret in your heart. Red Lotus true meaning sighed. Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable smiled lightly. Who in this world does not have any regrets in their life? Putting regret goo into his immortal aperture, Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable bowed towards Red Lotus, true meaning solemnly. I take my leave. I will definitely send him here. Fang Yuan slowly opened his eyes. The dazed expression slowly dissipated from his eyes. He went through this memory that Red Lotus Demon Venerable had left here and understood the cause and result of everything. I never expected to directly arrive at the Stone Lotus Island. Red Lotus Demon Venerable and Paradise Earth Immortal Venerable. Even though both have already perished, their arrangements are still in effect. One Fang Yuan sighed before looking at Red Lotus true meaning, as well as rank 8 regret goo that was already floating before him. Red Lotus true meaning smiled. Fang Yuan, you are finally here. There is no need to say anything else. I believe you will try your best to destroy fate goo. So, accept my true inheritance. It has already waited for you for over 1,000,000 years. One comment Fang Yuan nodded and extended his hand, trying to grasp regret goo. Red Lotus true meaning reminded him quickly. Careful, regret goo cannot be touched directly. Otherwise, even if you refine it, you will be drowned in endless regrets. I have already prepared a method for you. You only need, there is no need for that. Fang Yuan's expression was indifferent as he grabbed regret goo and instantly refined it. One red lotus true meaning was stunned. You. Chapter 1679, Red Lotus True Inheritance. Chapter 1679, Red Lotus True Inheritance Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios, the surging river was always flowing from past to present to future. Fang Yuan stood at the edge of Red Lotus Stone Island, looking at the river of time with a tranquil expression and a deep gaze. The river of time could be said to be the most special, secluded domain of heaven and earth, because it traversed the entire world. Without its existence and movement, the whole Gu master world would become a still picture without any changes or vitality. Fang Yuan had seized Dang Hun Mountain and Luo Pa Valley. These two secluded domains of heaven and earth belonged to him, but he absolutely could not seize the whole river of time. This secluded domain of heaven and earth belonged to all beings of this world. Every beast, every grass, every rock, every drop of water, they all enjoyed the benefits derived from the river of time. Even Gu immortals could at most only possess a tributary of the river of time in their immortal aperture. The river of time was the collective wealth of the whole world. Every drop of the water of time was a transparent pale white. A gazillion droplets of water crashed, intertwined, collided, and spun each time, giving off a brilliant light show. Thus, the surface of the river of time was always covered in a thin layer of ever-changing radiance. This was the area with the greatest amount of time path Dao marks in the whole world, the largest congregation of time path. Fang Yuan stood at the edge of the island and saw several year beasts, a one-finger flow shark, and large numbers of time path wild Gu worms in just a short while of observation. The river of time was overflowing with vitality. Several days had passed since Fang Yuan arrived. At this Red Lotus Stone Island, in this period of time, he had completely absorbed Red Lotus true meaning. His time path attainment level soared rapidly, reaching an unimaginable height. Time path quasi-supreme grandmaster. 6. With this attainment level, Fang Yuan had many new insights when he looked at the river of time. These feelings were not superficial. Instead, it pierced into the essence of the river of time, mesmerizing Fang Yuan the more he looked at it. Pinnacle profundities of the great Tao were in front of his eyes, quietly lifting a corner of a mysterious veil, allowing him to begin understanding this world and the principle of its operation. Although he gained refinement path quasi-supreme grandmaster attainment previously, his experience at that time had not been as deep as now. After all, Fang Yuan was currently in the secluded domain of heaven and earth, river of time. Time path quasi-supreme grandmaster attainment level gave Fang Yuan comprehensive growth in all aspects. For instance, the mysterious immortal killer move time cutting edge. Fang Yuan now had the ability to completely understand its essence and change the Gu worms involved, restoring its original might. Another example was Xia Cha's time path immortal Gu and immortal killer moves. Fang Yuan could now modify them and make them suited for himself. The greatest growth was in time path immortal Gu recipes. With both time path and refinement path at quasi-supreme grandmaster level, Fang Yuan had a very high assurance in modifying any time path immortal Gu recipes and refining time path immortal Gu. There was no doubt that Red Lotus true meaning was the most valuable treasure. Below it was the rank 8 immortal Gu, regret. One not mentioning this Gu's legendary status, just based on its rank 8 level. Its value was extraordinary. With this Gu worm, Fang Yuan now had 5 rank 8 Gu worms. Attitude, Wisdom Sword, Years Flow Like Water, Soul Beast Token, and Regret. One Fang Yuan could now construct regret pool with no obstacles. Of course, difficulty was still there, but the greatest hurdle had become non-existent because of regret Gu. Back when Red Lotus Demon Venerable arranged this true inheritance, he had deduced Fang Yuan's situation and thus prepared a large amount of time path immortal materials. With regret Gu and time path immortal materials, Fang Yuan only needed to follow the procedures and spend some time to construct regret pool. He could even build an immortal Gu house better than regret pool. With all these, Fang Yuan could begin to refine Gu en masse. On one hand, he could refine a lot more time path immortal Gu. On the other hand, he could advance the rank of the immortal goo he already had. These time path immortal materials left behind by Red Lotus Demon Venerable were of high rank. The lowest was rank 7, while there was a large amount of rank 8 immortal materials. Were Heavenly Court to see this, they would cough out a large mouthful of blood. They tried all methods to disturb Fang Yuan and obstruct him from purchasing time path immortal materials without hesitating on paying a huge price. This had indeed created huge trouble for Fang Yuan, but all their actions turned out to be of no use. Now point 2 Red Lotus True Meaning. Rank 8 Immortal Goo Regret. Large amounts of time path immortal materials, as well as immortal killer moves. Among the immortal killer moves, the greatest gains were immortal killer moves that used Spring Autumn Cicada as the core. The most important thing Fang Yuan cared about was the Spring Autumn Success killer move. This move used several supplementary immortal goo, and with the activation of Spring Autumn Cicada, its success rate would reach 100%. Simply using Spring Autumn Cicada had too low of a success rate. It also had the disadvantage of greatly decreasing luck. But although Spring Autumn Success immortal killer move still had the disadvantage of reducing luck, the failure rate was lowered to 0. With this move, Spring Autumn Cicada's practicality obtained an enormous boost. Fang Yuan had already decided to prepare this killer move. Almost all the immortal killer moves were in the form of information and required Fang Yuan to personally prepare them. But one time path killer move had been specially activated by Red Lotus Demon Venerable and left for Fang Yuan. The former rank 9 killer move, after over 1,000,000 years, had its power greatly reduced but was still effective. The name of this time path killer move, Future Self. This move relied on the River of Time and Red Lotus Stone Island. The Goo Immortal user could temporarily borrow the use of a certain future state of his life. For instance, a Goo Master who had only rank 5 cultivation, but in the future, would successfully pass his ascension tribulation and become rank 6. Under the use of Future Self, he could borrow the body of his future Goo Immortal self and temporarily gain a Goo Immortal's cultivation level. 5 Even Fang Yuan was speechless at the mysterious and terrifying powers of this move. Unfortunately, this move had already weakened to rank 7 level and was of no use to Fang Yuan. 1-inch Red Lotus Demon Venerable's deduction. Fang Yuan would have rank 7 cultivation when he found this stone island. But Red Lotus Demon Venerable was after all not a Wisdom Path Immortal Venerable. Even if he were a Wisdom Path Immortal Venerable, there could still be flaws in the deductions. Especially in the situation when Fate Goo was injured and Luck Path emerged. Everything had become much more difficult to predict. My cultivation is already rank 8. I can only give this future self-killer move to my subordinates. This can make up for their lack in strength and have the qualifications to participate in my battles. What a pity that I lost so much manpower before this. The complete content of Red Lotus True Inheritance was extremely plentiful and indeed worthy of being Red Lotus Demon Venerable's true inheritance. But Fang Yuan was still slightly disappointed. The thing he had most expected was some kind of method or a shortcut to pull a fast one and destroy Fate Goo. However, Red Lotus Demon Venerable did not leave behind such things. Even in the memory left by Red Lotus Demon Venerable, it only portrayed his experiences of becoming an immortal venerable and his regretful life later on. As for how he refined Spring Autumn Cicada or how he invaded Heavenly Court and injured Fate Goo, there were no memories of them. The memories had directly skipped to Red Lotus Demon Venerable constructing the Red Lotus Stone Island after becoming a venerable. What was the deeper meaning behind such an arrangement? Fang Yuan had inquired before he consumed Red Lotus True Meaning. The reply of Red Lotus True Meaning was, there was no shortcut to destroying Fate Goo. Even if Red Lotus Demon Venerable had exploited some kind of shortcut back then, that shortcut no longer existed now. Don't underestimate Heavenly Court. If there was any shortcut, be extra careful as it should be Heavenly Court's trap. As for why Red Lotus Demon Venerable did not leave behind more memories, Red Lotus True Meaning did not have an answer. He only gave speculation. He might not have wanted to point you towards a specific direction because it could easily lead to misunderstandings. Whether or not to destroy Fate Goo is your own choice. Fang Yuan asked, where are the other Red Lotus Stone Islands? Red Lotus True Meaning did not know. However, this reply was within Fang Yuan's expectation, If every red lotus stone island could mark the other islands' locations, they would have already been taken by spectral soul demon Venerable or Heavenly Court. To prevent such a situation from happening, Red Lotus Demon Venerable specially constructed each Red Lotus Stone island separately, without the ability to sense the other's locations. Fate Goo must be destroyed. A Heavenly Court with or without Fate Goo were two completely different concepts. If Heavenly Court successfully restored Fate Goo, although Fang Yuan would not be bound by the shackles of fate, other people or beings in the world would be influenced or even manipulated by fate. At that time, Fang Yuan's enemies would be everyone and everything besides him. This was slightly exaggerated, but it was that serious. Another more important reason was that Fate Goo's existence was the greatest obstacle to Fang Yuan's pursuit of eternal life. Fate Goo did not allow revival. It stated that all living beings must die. Thus, no matter what, Fang Yuan would have to destroy Fate Goo. Red Lotus Demon Venerable might have already deduced this, so he was not worried about Fang Yuan's motivation. Chapter 1680, Advancing Immortal Goo. Translator, Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios inside the sovereign immortal aperture. Mini central continent. Dark clouds covered the sky as thunder rumbled and lightning flashed. Fang Yuan's time path clone was standing high in the sky. He was observing the Goo refinement process cautiously to prevent any accidents. Under the dark clouds, the originally wide plain was now filled with deep craters. Bolts of lightning struck the ground, smashing the earth and creating half-spherical craters. The soil inside the crater was refined into a ceramic-like structure with smoke rising up from them. The time is right. My main body should be making a move. The time path clone just had this thought when countless lightning bolts converged together into one enormous lightning bolt. Boom! The deep blue lightning bolt resembling a heavenly pillar struck a white boulder at the center of the plain fiercely. Instantly, the white boulder was split into pieces by the lightning bolt. Countless fragmented rocks flew out everywhere. The lightning was incomparably fierce. It had suddenly converged together and vanished just as suddenly. The white boulder that was the size of a hill exploded, but a small goo worm floated in the air. The goo worm was in the form of a butterfly with various colors. It was man as before immortal goo. I finally succeeded after failing 6 times. Not bad, not bad. Fang Yuan's time path clone was exulted upon seeing this. Man as before came from Tai by Yun Sheng. Its origin could be traced back to Purple Mountain True Monarch. The original man as before immortal goo was only rank 6, which was only effective in healing rank 6 goo immortals and had barely passable effects on rank 7, often failing in its activation. Its effect on rank 8 was even more abysmal. Fang Yuan could use it effectively because of his sovereign immortal body's characteristic. Different kinds of Dao marks did not conflict with each other. But now that he was currently rank 8, rank 6 man as before was clearly too weak. But now, man as before immortal goo was successfully advanced from rank 6 to rank 7. Fang Yuan's time path clone inspected it carefully and soon discovered the difference between rank 7 man as before and the rank 6 version. They both had the shape of a butterfly, but the rank 7 man as before was much more dazzling. Moreover, there was a change in the butterfly's body. It looked like a tiny naked and pale person. Although rank 8 man as before was more suitable for Fang Yuan, he was currently satisfied with advancing it to rank 7, but refining rank 8 immortal goo would need countless cultivation resources, which Fang Yuan currently did not have the ability to bear back then. Old ancestor Shui, who had almost emptied out his accumulation to refine rank 8 fortune rivaling heaven. Every member of Snowy Mountain Blessed Land had complained about it. What's more, old ancestor Shui, who had cultivated for much longer than Fang Yuan in this life. This was unless Fang Yuan spent his entire fortune like selling Dang Hun Mountain, Luo Pa Valley, Reverse Flow River, or Wisdom Goo to exchange for countless resources. But that was not worth the loss. Man as before might be a superior goo, but it was not a crucial goo worm like spring-autumn cicada. Fang Yuan did not have the extravagant hope of refining rank 8 immortal goo. He intended to advance most of his rank 6 immortal goo to rank 7, because of the high quantity and the difficulty of goo refinement along with high failure rate. Even if Fang Yuan invested all his current resources, it would hardly be enough. Fang Yuan had gained batches after batches of cultivation resources from the Grotto Heaven of the Five Xiangs, Qi Clan's Grotto Heaven, the Blue Dragon Whale Grotto Heaven, as well as Red Lotus Stone Island. However, Gu refinement was a bottomless pit. No matter how much investment was done, it would never be high enough. Fortunately, Fang Yuan obtained Regret Gu, which he used to construct a refinement path Gu formation that allowed a small portion of the Gu refinement process to be done again if it failed. When Fang Yuan's time path clone took the rank 7 man, as before immortal Gu, the dark clouds had already vanished. The refinement path Gu formation slowly activated, and along with the killer move self-cleansing, they cleaned the Dao mark traces left at the scene. Next is landscape, as before. The time path clone thought.I in the list of Gu refinement plans. Man as before and landscape as before were at the top, but there were still a lot more left. For example, Day Gu, self-strength, pulling mountain, strength chi, Vajra thought, star eyes, star thought. Unravel mystery immortal Gu was also important. After its rank was advanced, it could greatly increase the power of Unravel Dream, which was extremely beneficial in Fang Yuan's dream path cultivation. There were also dogshit luck, chi luck, luck inspection, connect luck, and time luck. These luck path immortal Gu would also be an enormous help after they were advanced. Fang Yuan was lacking offensive methods in luck path, but its support function could not be neglected. Previously, Fang Yuan had used his luck path superiority to get rid of the pursuit of the multiple time path immortal Gu houses of Heavenly Court. Advancing the ranks of immortal Gu was all done by Fang Yuan's main body. The time path clone did not have enough qualifications because of low cultivation level. After receiving Red Lotus True Inheritance, Fang Yuan continued to stay in Red Lotus Stone Island. Besides him repeatedly refining Gu, Bai Ning Bing, He Lu Lan, and so on were also moving around on the island. They exchanged pointers with each other and did their best to adapt to their future self. Under the effect of future self, their battle strength climbed to first rate or even the peak of rank 7. This was already the limit of the killer move. With his subordinate's strength rising to this level, there would no longer be awkward situations like before. Next time Fang Yuan battled, these people would have the minimum qualification to take part in the battle. The regrettable thing was that Fairy Miao Yin, Lady White Rabbit, and Sixth Hair were dead. Although Fang Yuan still had several enslaved Gu immortals like Qi Clan's Gu immortals, these people were far less reliable than the former. They were bound by a slave agreement, which could very well dissipate under the power of their future self. So, Fang Yuan did not intend to elevate them, even though the future self-killer move could still be used on several more people. Advancing immortal Gu became Fang Yuan's most important project and occupied almost all of his time. Occasionally, he used fixed immortal travel's killer move to teleport to the Five Xiangs Grotto Heaven and continue refining the killer move heaven form. Fang Yuan had already obtained the true inheritance and was the owner of this Red Lotus Stone Island. Thus, he could use fixed immortal travel to travel back and forth. Before this Red Lotus Stone Island had been protected by Red Lotus Demon Venerable Strength, which prevented methods like fixed immortal travel. This was the same situation as in the immortal aperture inside the Blue Dragon Whale. Fang Yuan had already tested it, but unfortunately, he was unable to return to the Dragon Whale Grotto Heaven with fixed immortal travel. Also, Spring-Autumn Cicada might have reached rank 7, which expanded its detection range, but Fang Yuan did not go to look for other Red Lotus Stone Islands. Firstly, his current strength had not increased a lot. He still needed to process his gains. Secondly, Heavenly Court was also searching in the River of Time. Fang Yuan would have to avoid them if he ran into them. Finally, Fang Yuan's rank 8 Immortal Essence Reserve was still accumulating because advancing Immortal Gu spent a lot of Immortal Essence. Time passed, several months went by quickly. Southern border. Boom! Earth tremored and mountains shook. Rocks and stones flew in all directions as an earth trench appeared. The vast aura of a wild Immortal Gu spread everywhere. This wild Immortal Gu has finally appeared. In the clouds, 3 Gu Immortals looked at the ground with smiles on their face. Alright, let's compete according to the agreement we said earlier. Yes, earth veins are stirring more intensely, and wild Immortal Gu appear from time to time. We need to finish our battle quickly. The 3 Gu Immortals fought fairly. The atmosphere was harmonious. The influence of Southern Border's Righteous Path Superforce Alliance was becoming increasingly larger. Previously, Wu Yong led the Southern Alliance, but was unable to deal with Fang Yuan. Instead, Fang Yuan used the pretense of undergoing tribulation to plot a trap in 5 regional mountain range. But it was not like the Southern Alliance had no gains. They obtained Tao Zhu's true inheritance. After Lu Weiyin rescued many Southern Border Rank 7 Gu immortals from Fang Yuan's hands, he represented Paradise Earth's force and officially joined the Southern Alliance. It was perhaps due to Fang Yuan that the Southern Alliance's Righteous Path Gu immortals restrained themselves, as they had a common enemy. They were inwardly apprehensive that as Southern Border's earth veins fluctuated repeatedly and cultivation resources appeared one after the other, Fang Yuan might suddenly come to fight over them. So, Southern Alliance Gu immortals did not fight each other to death. Instead, their fights became controlled. Heavenly Court. Fairy Ziwei's brows rose up in joy when she heard the report. Dragon Palace has been found. This is good news. Lord Duke Long had all along been searching for it, and now, our Heavenly Court has discovered the immortal Gu House Dragon Palace. Dragon Palace was an extremely powerful immortal Gu house. Even Heavenly Court placed great importance on it. This immortal Gu house has a deep relationship with Lord Duke Long. I should tell him this news first. When Duke Long obtained this news, he immediately brought Feng Jin Huang to Heavenly Court and handed her over to Fairy Ziwei to look after. Several days later, Duke Long returned without anything. Fairy Ziwei was surprised. Duke Long was extremely powerful. In this current world, what methods could actually obstruct him? Dragon Palace is actually surrounded by a layer of Dream Realm. I cannot enter it. Duke Long sighed. Fairy Ziwei immediately understood the reason after hearing this reply. She consoled Duke Long. Lord Duke Long, you do not need to worry. The formation is already ready. It can use the strength of the whole of Heavenly Court's Grotto Heaven to suppress Spectral Soul. We will soon obtain his Dream Path research results. Duke Long laughed joyfully and said good 3 times. Spectral Soul's Dream Path research results naturally referred to the pure dream reality seeker physique. With this method, Heavenly Court could condense dream realms into pure dream reality seeker physique bodies. The dream realms surrounding Dragon Palace would be easily removed. That demon Fang Yuan has made no move recently? Duke Long asked. Fairy Ziwei shook her head. Ever since he escaped from the River of Time, there has been no news of him. Currently, all 5 regions are facing frequent movements of earth veins, with Southern Border's situation being the greatest. Countless cultivation resources are being churned out. I really hoped he tried to loot these resources and gave us the opportunity to track him. But unfortunately, it is like he has completely disappeared. I have been using wisdom path methods to analyze every bit of information, but have not been able to find his traces. One comment. Duke Long nodded. Continue to pay attention to him. Even though this demon has reached rank 8, he has to face stronger calamities and tribulations now. This will definitely give him a headache. Although he can annex apertures with the sovereign immortal body, he needs rank 8 Grotto Heavens to skip grand tribulations. Furthermore, there is still the even more terrifying myriad tribulation. Even Fairy Ziwei felt her heart palpitate when she heard the mention of myriad tribulation. She nodded with a smile. Lord Duke Long is right. Fang Yuan might have advanced to rank 8, but how many rank 8 Grotto Heavens are there for him to annex? His cultivation won't change much within a short period of time. 2-inch currently, Fang Yuan lacks resources, especially time path resources. It will be almost impossible for him to face the arrangements we made in the River of Time. That means he will have no chance at getting Red Lotus true inheritance. 1-inch, although he escaped before, his immortal essence expenditure was extremely huge, and nearly all his trump cards were exposed. He needs to quickly accumulate rank 8 immortal essence. Because relying on immortal essence stones has too low efficiency, he can only rely on his immortal aperture's self-production. But the immortal aperture's self-production requires time. If he quickens the rate of time of his immortal aperture, he will also accelerate the arrival of his calamities and tribulations as well. Once he has no more immortal apertures to annex, he will have to face tribulations. The time he undergoes his tribulation will be the time our Heavenly Court takes his life. Fairy Ziwei's eyes glistened brightly when she said this. Duke Long nodded, looking at Fairy Ziwei with praise. With you taking charge of heavenly court, I am at ease. 1.